got that formula nailed down, man. Just like sap all of you. Because that's the name of the game, isn't it? Like, eat into as much of your free time as possible.
That's Assassin's Creed. Eat into as much of your free time as possible.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll be the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buyer's Remorse with Darren and Justin.
Hello, and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
On Buyer's Remorse, we find games that are hidden in each other's libraries, untouched or unplayed, and we have that person play them for 60 minutes to find out if they are a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse. What game did I choose for you this time?
The amazing Wonder Games. I didn't write down the title. Oh well.
We do kind of need the title.
Oh yeah, I know what it's called. Yeah. You bought me this game on my birthday, and it's called Today Is My Birthday.
Oh, are we...
This last
okay.
year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Justin bought me this wonderful game. It's actually by... the developer team is actually called Wonder Games. It's a 2-person team, 1 developer, 1 programmer. It's $10 at base price, and it's got mixed reviews. It's almost too perfect for you, Justin, to choose this one for me.
It seems like a definite win for me. After all those times that you got me with games you got for me, to do this one to you, have at it. Tell me about this game. I think that I mostly got it because of mixed review and the fact that it was your birthday and the title of the game.
It's like, happy birthday. Here's a game for your birthday that you can play on the podcast. It's just like a triple win. Yeah. So unfortunately, I had to play this game twice. That's not a good start, is it? Unfortunately. But yeah, so let me tell you about this game then. This game is a guy's 25th birthday, and he goes back to a fun fair that he used to go to with his dad. His dad's dead now, and he's going back to remember the good old days of him and his dad going to this fair.
How do we see this? Is this
a cutscene?
Animated?
Yeah, it's like a kind of almost like I would say like an Adam Wolf style cutscene kind of thing. You know, like that. Not animated, but just like moving pictures, sliding pictures across the screen kind of thing.
Right, okay.
And so already I'm worried because it says press A to skip. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. We've got another controller port. And so...
so you can never skip again.
Yeah. We'll get to that. And so you've got easy mode or normal mode after the cutscene. You've got easy mode or normal mode. Easy mode is infinite stamina, 5 flashes per camera charge, and on normal mode you've got 15 seconds of stamina and 2 camera flashes.
This is a horror game.
Yeah.
With a very limited battery mechanic.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's great. I imagine that you played it right to the finish, but I'll have to wait till the end to find out.
So you've got a little cutscene of you arriving at the park, and this guy, this guy has not thought this through. He is not the brightest 25-year-old in the world, that's for sure. So he's basically ridden his motorbike to this place. He's run out of petrol miles before he gets to the fair.
So he had to walk to the fair then?
Yeah, it's pissing with rain, and the road has been closed off like for years. It looks like it's all dug up, and there's a big barrier in front of it. So not only did he run out of petrol at the exact right moment, but he's riding his bike through the rain to a place that has been shut down for probably 20 years. So he needs to use his Google Maps better. And look up stuff ahead of time. So you get off, and over a fence, you have to go. Basically, you got a little bit of tutorial. It tells you about you got a camera. You can use the flash to stun enemies, and you've got a stamina bar, and And that's it. And then like interact with objects. And then so basically you click on this little bit of the fence so that you can get over it.
It's telling you all of this before you've ever seen anything or done anything.
Yeah. It's even saying like you can use this to stun enemies. It's like, oh really? So
I guess I'm going to see some enemies.
Spoiler alert! Yeah. So you get over the fence.
Are you first person?
First person, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you get over the fence, and also the animation of you putting away the camera. It looks like you're just throwing it on the ground in front of you, but I think it's like one of those cameras that's on like a strapper on your neck kind of thing, and it just looks like he's just dropping it into his belly kind of thing, But
do you have a giant DSLR or something?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. You do get to see the camera when you put it away. It's just like an old school. It's not a Polaroid, but it's just like an old Pentax. Anyway, so lightning strikes to kind of help me see a path, because once I get over this fence, it is absolutely pitch black, man. I could not see anything. You can kind of see something through the trees, but it's the kind of game that's got like invisible walls everywhere. So I'm trying to go forward. And when you're in the dark and you're moving forward, you don't know if you're moving forward. So one thing that I've kind of learned from playing stupid games like these is you try and get a light source that you can see, and then you walk backwards, because then you can tell if that light source is moving. You use that in Superliminal a lot when there's like the really dark levels, So, and so I was like pressing F for flashlight. Like, what? How do you get the flashlight? Looking up the controls. It's like, yeah, it's F for flashlight. Where is it? And it's not until you get down, manage to navigate this weird kind of zigzag of invisible walls in the absolute pitch black. You find a little box and it's got a flashlight on it. And it's like, oh, okay. So you pick it up and he's like, oh no, it feels like I'm in one of those cheap horror games. So
great, some meta as well.
Yeah, so it's very self-aware. And then, so you can press F now to use a flashlight, but it's really weird because you press it and then nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, it goes on. So it's like, there's like a good 2 or 3 second delay from pressing F to actually lighting it up. So you get through, and then you're kind of, again, there's lots of invisible walls. It's like, where do I go? I'm blocked off. You've got to be in this one exact area to trigger a cutscene. And this was absolutely hilarious, because this container box opens, and this clown, like a literal clown, comes out of this shipping container, and the guy the protagonist is this American guy. And so I was really kind of stunned when I heard this. I don't even know what you would call it. I mean, it's definitely English, but I don't know what part of England it's from. But he comes out of the container and he says, "Fucking sweet day for work." He sounds like a Yorkshire farmer. And his name, of course, is Barney B. And it says, "Human organs dealer." So it's like... So...
Well, I guess no vagueness there.
So yeah, Barnaby. Man, that...
Did you get a whole backstory for him and why he's chosen to hide out in this abandoned fun fair as opposed to where people might actually be?
Yeah. I mean, how is the organ donor? How is the organ harvesting doing in these parts? Do you get a lot of people like me coming through here? But yeah, so he comes out. But man, I laughed so hard when he comes out and says that. So anyway, he goes away. He goes to take a piss, basically, and then I go into his trailer. He's got a trailer off to the side as well. So he goes off to the left. I go off to the right, and in the trailer, I find a VHS tape. I find some keys, and then right on cue, the phone rings, and again, the character in the game goes, "How does he have a phone in here?" Like, because it's not a cell phone. It's like
it's a landline.
It's a landline. Yeah, it's an old school rotary landline, and he's like, "How the hell does this guy have a landline in the middle of nowhere?" Like, yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. glad you mentioned it. Could you not have just made a normal phone, like a modern phone? Why the landline?
You don't get to say the joke then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe.
At the same time, if the place went out of business 25 years ago, it might have had a landline. He's just somehow kept it going.
Oh, this is not even the fun fair. This is like it's not a campground. It's not a trailer park. It's a container box in the middle of a forest with a little caravan next to it.
I thought we were already in the fun fair. When you talked about going over the fence and stuff,
No. This is like
that was sneaking in.
Like almost like, I mean, I guess maybe it would. No, it's not even going to be the car park because it's not even like it's just concrete that's been overgrown. It's like a forest. There's trees and there's nothing else. So it's like this guy has a caravan in the middle of a forest with a landline.
I'm gonna say.
I love how you're trying to reason this one out.
Compared to everything else, I think that this is totally fine. If you can get internet anywhere, that requires a connection. A phone is probably not a big thing to add. It's just so that they could say that line. They wanted that joke. Did it make you laugh?
It did make me laugh, yeah.
Well, then mission accomplished,
yeah. So then, so basically the clown says, "Oh, who's that?" And then I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I'm looking for a cupboard to hide in, or I'm looking for anything, a box to get into, because I can see him coming.
You didn't get an option to just go talk to him and.
Well,
say hi.
I ended up just standing there, going like, "I'll just wait for him," because I wanted to see what happened, and B, I wanted to see how scary is this going to be, like a jump scare game? Is it going to really freak me out? But basically, he comes in, and he's like the guy. The protagonist, who to me, in my limited knowledge of American accents, but he really sounds a lot like Jerry from Rick and Morty. So that just adds to the hilarity of this game.
Okay.
But he's like, "I don't want any trouble, man." And then this clown just like with his farmer accent, he's like, "You're fucking dead," and then kills him. And then so you just get slashed or something like that, and I think it takes you a few hits to die, and then that's it. And then it's like restart. So I click restart. And I'm watching the cutscene again, and so it's not a short cutscene.
From the very beginning, or just
from the very beginning?
Oh,
from the very beginning. All the tutorial again, everything.
I was thinking it would be just from the clown popping out.
I thought that too. Yeah, I was like, okay, we'll probably restart from there because that was another cutscene. It's like, nope, you're going right back.
We put a lot of time into this. You get to see it twice.
Oh, I got to see it much more than twice. So right back to the start, cutscene and all, and then I'm pushing everything. I'm clicking the mouse, and it's an unskippable cutscene as well. So, let's take a walk through the Black Forest again. So I go down. I've got a much better idea of how to get through that pitch blackness now. Pick up the flashlight again, get to the cutscene, fucking sweet day for work. And then I run into there, grab the key, grab the VHS, immediately run straight back out. And I'm like, okay, I understand what this game's going to be. I thought it was going to be more of a, I don't know, like one of those, like that Slenderman game, or more like a Outlast or something like that, where it's a lot of stealth and stuff. But it seemed a lot easier, a lot simpler than that. It was almost like a horror adventure. And so it was easy enough to hide from him. I hid behind a tree. He didn't seem to see me. And then I just gun it. I went into the container box, and then he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And he's got a hacksaw and bits of organs and stuff. And it's a killer's paradise in there.
Bits of organs. Ones that weren't good enough for the trade.
Yeah, no, this just doesn't cut it. And so you get out of there, and then I run up this hill behind the container box, and I jump another fence, or I climb through break a fence, and then it's like I'm out. Like, oh, cool. There's a car drives by on the road that is broken. Somehow is unbroken. There's a car that just goes by. He's like, "Oh wait, I need a lift." But then when you get out and try to follow that car, there's a tree blocking the road, so that, I don't know where that car went, but yeah, anyway, so Get out. There's
You missed a key part of the story there.
Maybe. You get out, and then there's an old school bus, like one of those old American kind of big yellow school buses. And I guess this is the main section of the game because this was the entrance to the park. So there's a bus outside, and the park is just an absolute ruin, right? It honestly looks like a bomb has exploded there. There's rubble and it's crumbling, it's in pieces. The ticket counter is still there though. And so, but yeah, most of the things inside have just been blown up.
How do you get inside?
You just walk through the rubble, basically, right?
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be some stupid thing where you have to find a way to purchase a ticket.
All right, yeah. Well, it does get a bit kind of... this is where it becomes more like... a hidden object game is scenes that you navigate like two-dimensionally. This feels like a three-dimensional hidden object game almost. It's weird. Because the first thing I noticed was there's a dog, like a Rottweiler, chained to a post, and he's got a thing. He's got a collar on, and on the collar there's a key. So he won't kill me because he's chained to the post, but I need to... So it's like I've got this point-and-click logic now where I need to find a bone or I need to find a slab of steak or something like that so I can placate this dog and then get this collar off of him.
Old school adventure games.
Yeah, it felt like that. And so I got too close and it killed me. And guess what happened?
Did you go back to the beginning?
Yeah. The very beginning.
So did you have to face off against the clown again?
Yep. I got really good at getting past the clown. I mastered it by the end of the hour.
Did you get to that car the second time?
Yeah. Everything. Yeah, it's just a the car that drives past.
Yeah, escaped.
It's just a baked in like little cutscene.
Oh, so you're not missing something to...
Nah.
Okay. Did you make it back to the dog again then?
So I got back to the dog, right? And I just was just staring at it going like, what should I do? And it's so funny because it's got this animation. It sounds like one of those, you know, those like toys that are battery operated and they walk and then they've got this little squeaky bark that they'll just like bark like kids' toys, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds like that. And it just barks. And it doesn't stop. So I honestly just sat there for about 2 minutes going, is it going to have any variation? Is it going to stop barking? Nope. It just, once it sees you, it makes a beeline for you, the chain goes taut, and then it just barks over and over again for forever. And so I thought I could be smart, and then I would sprint and get the key. I died. And then I realized, I was like, man, I don't know how far I was in by this point. I think it was a good 45 minutes or something like that. And so I'm like, all right, let me have a look at the options. Let's look around a little bit. And I saw that the game has 4 levels. There's the forest, there's the park indoors, the catacombs, and the caves. So...
How did you realize there were all these different areas?
Because in the menu... Because when I died, I was like, all right, I've only got 15 minutes left. I want to check out, because there's like a credits page, and I like to check those out and stuff. And there's a menu for like level select. And I was like, oh, so it spoils the game, kind of like, oh, well, we're going to be going into some catacombs and caves later.
Aren't they all locked off, though?
But they're all locked. But here, once you go into this menu, there's a bloody place where you can click to start back again. So you go here, and then I respawned at the school bus.
So you no longer have to do the first part again.
So I've done the first part 4 times. But now, I towards the end of my hour, I'm like, oh, yeah, well, partly my fault, but partly the game's fault for it's really badly signposted about how to just let me when I click restart, just put me back to where I wanted to be, not restart, not like reset the entire game. So I get back to the yellow bus. I avoid that dog, and then I go into this. It looks like there's an old merry-go-round, and then it looks like a shop or something like that. Go into the shop. They'll have meat or something, a hot dog or something that I can give to this dog. There's another fucking dog in here, and it's not on a leash. And it chases you, and I died again.
Did you have a goal in mind when you started running away? Were you thinking, I'm going to run to the other dog, or I'm going to run to the bus? Or
I was like...
Did you have a plan?
I did have a plan. I ran out of the... I just ran right out of the... I got killed in there somehow. I can't remember exactly. The next time I went in, I tried to get into that room, and I ran right back out the store again. And it's one of those things where it won't cross the threshold. So it'll wait at the door. But I'm like, well, now I've alerted it, so I have to go away and see if it goes away. And it does, but now that you've opened the door, or now it knows that you exist, as soon as you step into this market, it's all over you.
Did you try taking a picture of it?
This is the thing. I didn't actually flash anything. That sounds really rude. I didn't flash anyone in this game. 0 out of 10.
Well, I believe not flashing would be not rude.
Yeah. So I didn't flash my camera at the dog. I never even thought about it, to be honest. I should have. But I'm like, okay, I'm going in with a plan. I'm going to go in. There's another door over there. I'm going to just go in there. But the game somehow had been like, no. Even though you've respawned and stuff, the dog still knows that you're there. That door that you went in first time is now open. And as soon as you come in, the dog's going to chase you immediately. That dog was all over me. And so as soon as I went in, I just gunned it. I heard him growling and coming for me. I gunned it to that room. It's just a bathroom. And the dog follows you in there. And so I slammed the door shut, but I fucking slammed the door shut with the dog inside.
So you're trapped in there.
And so I died again. Oh yeah, there was something good. Yeah, the running in the game was really stiff. It was really weird running around. I can't explain how. You just have to watch the video, or if you're listening to this, it's kind of like, I don't know, like robotic arms just waving around in front of you. It's weird. It's really weird.
What game did we do that? Was it Cube?
The Turing test.
Turing test. That's... Suddenly you have hands and they're running.
Yeah.
And it looks weird.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Kind of like that, yeah. And all I've got written down here, I don't remember where this was. I was like, yes, television stuff. I don't know where this was. Maybe it was in the market. If you don't annoy the dog, maybe there's a TV on the shelf. And I was like, oh yeah, TV, and you can switch it on. I was like, yes, television stuff. I can waste 15 minutes watching this. And unfortunately, it was only 3 seconds long. And once it switches off, you can't even switch it on again and watch it again.
You were going to watch it 3 seconds for 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just like, it was nothing. It was a black room with someone in it, and then it switches off. It looked like maybe it was the clown trapping someone to, harvest their organs. And so after that, I tried to get through the market again. I did explore a few other things. There's like a tent, a small tent, not like a big tent for the circus, just like a little tent, but it's like that style, that circus tent style. There was nothing in there. I went into the ticket office. There was a newspaper in there, just like, oh, people are going missing in this area. There was nothing. And then I think I wandered around and I couldn't find anything. And that was it. My hour was done. So
you made sure to play another 15 hours of it.
Yeah. I did. No, I didn't.
Well, first off, this game. Would you recommend it to me? I suspect not at $10, but would you recommend it to me?
At $1?
Yeah. If it goes 90% off.
No, not really. Because I know that you like you like some horror games. But this actually, I thought, oh shit, I'm in trouble now because I'm going to be terrified of these jump scares. But from what I've told you, does it even sound scary?
No, but actually, that seems a benefit.
Yeah.
If it was jump scares, I would be zero interested.
Mm-hmm.
The adventure game logic is always a bit appealing to me, so there is something to that. But if the controls are not good and the having to go to the menu to go to the chapter select every time, that's a disaster. That to me is a game breaker.
It is an odd choice of menu design. Yeah, it's not. That's why. This is why Steam needs a meh.
Yeah.
And not a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Because I understand the mixed reviews now.
But I think that's the thing. Overall, you get mixed then, right?
Yeah. Because I would like to say I would like to just go in the middle, right in the middle, and say it's not a terrible game. And I think to answer probably the next question is, yeah, I think I would go back because it's so ridiculous and dumb B-movie style game that I want to see what happens next.
This is a bit, to me anyway, like when you were playing that escape room game on the stream.
Uh-huh.
And I was watching and trying to give you some hints as to what I thought might be an answer. And like that poster.
Mur.
Put in dir. She's like, that's a dumb, why would it be that? And like, because what other word's going to start M-U-R and have 3 letters? And you're like, merman. I'm like, it's not spelled that way. And but it's the type of game where I think if you have 2 people together working on this kind of thing and laughing at the ridiculous parts together while also trying to figure out the puzzles together, I could see this being a fun afternoon. You didn't look up how long it typically takes to beat, did you?
I usually do, but I didn't for this one. I imagine it's fairly short once you know what you're doing, but I think this would be the kind of thing that I wouldn't mind just getting a guide and just going through it and not spending too long getting... Because, I mean, I was looking for meat. Maybe I'm not supposed to be looking for meat. You know, maybe I've got to find a tranquilizer dart or something like that. You know, it could be anything. Adventure game logic, you know? So it could be anything, but I definitely would be interested to see what happens at the end. See if you get to kill the clown or if the clown just kills you and that's it, game over. What's the overall thing?
Is the clown the overall bad guy, you think?
I mean, I saw him once and then I've not seen him again. Him once and then 2 dogs.
I was expecting there to be a variety of things in this fun fair.
I mean, maybe there is. Maybe the fun fair part is the clown. Maybe the catacombs is another guy. Maybe the caves is someone else. I've got no idea. So I'd like to see how it pans out. It's not that scary. It's more funny than scary. But yeah, it is good and bad. So it's really hard for me to even call this one, man.
I guarantee you I did not get it for $10. As far as recommendations to other people, would you recommend it to them?
I mean, I'll take back what I said to you as well. I'd say if you can get it for $1, go for it. You know, definitely not 10. That's insane. But yeah, to anyone else that likes those kind of cheap horror kind of thrills, then it's not bad for $1.
What 3 tags would you give it?
Honestly, I thought about this and it's tagged as horror, but I mean, I suppose so. It's not, but like, yeah, it's not. I guess there's different levels of horror and different genres of horror. How about B horror? Right?
Okay.
B horror, and I would say this would be a long tag, but adventure game puzzle style, or hidden object puzzle style. That's what I meant to say. Hidden object puzzle style.
Okay.
And then the last one would be bad voice acting. It's terrible, man. Jerry and a farmer go to the carnival.
And would you say this is a buyer's confirmation or a buyer's remorse?
Yeah. Again, like I'm kind of saying, yeah, get it, and then I'm also saying, but don't blame me if you don't like it. You know,
Get it, but don't blame me if you don't like it. That's a very good way to put it, I think. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to say. I don't like to sit on the fence. So if I had to get off the fence and choose one, I would say it wasn't the worst way to spend an hour. It was definitely, you've picked way, way worse games for me. Total Shogun War 2. Yeah, so it's definitely not your worst one. I know you tried, but confirmation, man. Sorry.
Buyer's confirmation.
So close.